Welcome to a 2v2 on Lierneux. This game is Arny and Sirokoma as double Overcommando West in the west versus Lemon and Go Hard Like Drag as double Soviets in the east. We're going to see Fortifications Doctrine picked really early, but from the other players we've got Breakthrough, Spec Ops, Scavenge, Counterattack, Mechanized Support? No, Shock Motor. Damn it. Shock Motor, Guard Motor, Shock Rifle, Shock Motor, Guard Motor. So, both of these players have access to the ISU 152. Both of these players have access to T-3485s. Both of them have access to shock troops, and then we've got the choice of the IS-2 and the B-4. So pretty standard stuff from the Soviets. Pretty much exactly what you would expect to see. Except, yeah, I guess shock motor is a little more popular these days than mechanized support because people just like shock troops more than guards. Shock troops don't have a munitions price tag associated with them, and guards are not good enough at anti-tank to be worth having that sort of mediocre generalist. You'd rather just go full-on anti-infantry, so they've kind of fallen out of favor. You still see them occasionally. I think they're an okay unit. I think shocks just fill more of a needed role. Double Kuba wagon opening from the Axis here, and they're both going straight towards the center. Gonna pin down these conscripts, but they've already managed to capture this fuel. Soviets do have building control here. This house is being taken control of by combat engineers. And we've got some conscripts taking control of the South Victory Point, while Sturm Pioneers are taking control of the munitions here in the south. And the Axis will, in fact, take full munitions control. Meanwhile, the Allies send in combat engineers up here towards the north. And 3 squads of conscripts from Lemon are going to make their way across these victory points and should be able to take them pretty much unopposed. The only thing sent up here was 1 squad of Volksgrenadiers, while all other Axis forces were deployed towards the center and south. These 2 squads of conscripts easily win that engagement. I'm not sure those Sturm Pioneers were being monitored for that. Took a little more damage than he had to there. But the Oberkommando West will manage to maintain control of this central fuel until a big Soviet push can unseat this defensive position, and it's only going to get worse from here. These 2 Kuba wagons will provide a lot of suppressing fire, and Lemon looks like he's preoccupied taking control of all territory in the north, going to get control of all 3 victory points actually for the Allies for now. Setting up that triple cap early should be able to secure them a pretty big VP lead if the Axis don't shut that down. They've already lost 50 almost. So that's not good for the Axis, who at this point hold not that much territory because of the double Kuba wagon opening. They do have a very strong position here in the center of the map, but they don't have that much capping power. Lemon's taken pretty much the entire north here. At this range, he's doing okay against these Volksgrenadiers, but the Kuba wagon moving to harass him will get shut down. Lemon with the very early anti-tank grenade tech right there. Overcommando West player gambled and lost getting into close range on those conscripts. Didn't think he'd researched that yet, and he was mistaken. And I don't blame Lemon at all for going AT grenades against a double Kuba wagon opening either, because that definitely won him that engagement. And he will be forced off the field with most of his troops, but he's taking control of the entire north. And it's going to be some time before the Axis get that back under their control, since they have somewhat limited capping power with the loss of that early Kuba wagon. And Lemon is going to go from his 4th squad of conscripts into maybe a tech structure now. He's got his combat engineers here. His teammate's gone with a tier 2 structure, throwing a Maxim on the field, sending that towards the center to support in these engagements. There's a pretty healthy looking Overcommando West blob by a battle group headquarters defending the fuel now. But Go Hard Like Drag has done an excellent job of containing that blob, keeping them focused purely on this strategic point right here and the fuel, and not much of anything else. We do have AT grenade research from Go Hard Like Drag. Gets one off on the Kuba wagon, and there it goes, out of control, destroyed. The Sturm Pioneers trying to screen, may wipe the squad. Volksgrenadier support. It will retreat with yellow cover though. Looks like they're gonna get away. Go Hard Like Drag is completely forced off the field with all of his infantry. They'll just be forced to try and hold this line with one Maxim, but the south is now left completely undefended. Volksgrenadiers here in the north are going to take control of this fuel point. And these squads are slowly making their way through the north to get control of VPs. We're going to see 3 MG34s from Sirokoma Fortifications player. In 1v1 I find that to be way too many, personally. I've never seen a 3 MG34 opening succeed. But, in 2v2 I think it's probably fine as long as he supports his teammate, and his teammate doesn't get too many team weapons, and it doesn't look like his teammate's going to get any since he's gone Scavenge Doctrine and started fielding Jaeger Light Infantry, putting them in this house to stall the Soviet advance out of the base, trying to get some lucky snipes. And that may prompt the purchase of Molotov cocktails by Go Hard Like Drag. But first he's going to go with the field infirmary. Meanwhile in the north, Lemon is going to take control of all territory once again, pretty much unopposed, while MG34s continue to simply defend here in the middle, trying to make this position as impossible to crack as they can. But again, if they focus too hard on just this fuel point, they're going to run out of VPs. They really need to expand south and get those VPs under control, and they need to end this triple cap. They're already 200 points behind, and it's only 7 minutes into the game. They really need to stop that triple cap immediately. Shock troops are going to make their way towards the south here and probably keep this triple cap going if support doesn't arrive. It is on its way from the north. This force probably can't beat this force unless they get a miracle to grenade or something. And it's already lost. Flamethrower took a huge burst of damage right there. Grenade gets dodged. And the engagement goes to the Oberkommando West. And finally, they will get some victory points under their control, with another force making its way towards the north to get that VP. There's an MG34 getting cleared, though. I'm not sure he's monitoring this. It looks like he is. Conscript squad got suppressed just in time. Might burn to death on the Molotov flames, but he can simply recrew that with the infantry he has available in the area. This attempt to harass the center VP will get shut down by a tier 4 structure in the central village from Sirokoma, who's also built a battle group headquarters way back here in the base. So no mechanized regiment HQ from either of these players, which will deny them access to the walking Stuka and Puma for now, and flag half track. So going to be a lot of infantry, no light vehicles other than the Kuba wagons, which have since both been destroyed. Infiltration grenades from the Scavenge player here. There's a pretty decent amount of damage to the conscripts making their way down, but they're going to toss some Molotovs to turn the engagement back in their favor, and with this flamethrower making its way to the front line, the engagement is won. Should be able to re-secure the south victory point for some time. Unfortunately, the north victory point is falling, so they won't be able to keep that triple cap going. Clock is pretty much stopped for the time being. But Lemon is sending a large force of conscripts up there towards the north. 3 squads. He lost 1 full squad at some point. He's gone tier 2 and is purchasing himself a mortar, and he has also chosen counterattack tactics. Grenade gets tossed into the strategic point right there. And shock troops are moving up into close range on these Jaeger Light Infantry, going to force a retreat. They're in yellow cover. Ooh, that was a late dodge. In yellow cover, you do not negate explosive damage from grenades, and you tend to be bunched. Yellow cover is extremely dangerous against grenades, and that squad almost got wiped. These 2 squads moving up with MG34 support, double MG34 support, will easily force a retreat from Lemon, and the north is slowly creeping towards the right. All these sectors falling to the axis, while this wall of machine guns makes things difficult for Lemon to deal with. He's gonna have to take a different angle of attack. Currently, he's also got squads working on the center, but obviously, without a way to take down this truck, there's only so much that can be done down here. And The north is probably the best target since it's rather lightly defended. S-mine field up there on the fuel, but I don't know if I agree with the placement. Pretty easy to walk around as long as you're paying attention. Maxim will force a retreat from the MG-34 right there. And a flamethrower is firing on that machine gun. It's going to be forced out of the building. Should be able to get away unless there's any lucky crits. A couple of squads laying more defenses up here. That's a lot of S-mines being laid by Sirokoma. He's spending a lot of munitions on those. He's only got one Panzerschreck in the bank, so once the first Soviet vehicles arrive, it's going to be a little bit dangerous. Especially since he's just dropped 50 fuel on a Panzer II. It's going to somewhat delay his Panther. Demo charge here, but it doesn't look like he has any intention of going through that direction. His Panzer II is going to do some light harassment from behind enemy lines. Catches a shock troop squad, going to get some nice damage done on that. Nice placement on that field gun, though.
Enemy forces are attempting to capture our territory. We have an isolated sector.
Mortar gets cleared by infiltration grenades here in the center, and the Soviets are losing control of the entire map. And they're only at 6 command points. They really need to find a way to break through this, because it's going to be some time before they have their B4, before they have their KV-8 or their IS-2. They're gonna have to try and figure something out and make it work well in advance. And that demo charge is a good start. Wipes one squad, shock troops moving up, clean up maybe the other squad. Oh, it's gonna be close. There they go. This red cover retreat path, no good, and they will get taken down.
Engineer standing by. Red Army at your service. The new men have arrived.
Smoke grenade being tossed, but okay, he immediately shrieks under machine gun fire. I'm not sure why he pushed so hard for the center if he was just going to immediately retreat first sign of trouble. Should have probably just continued to take territory here in the south and defend it, try and slow the VP drain, and engage cost effectively, since again they have no way to assault this position. Although they do have a couple mortars with which to bombard it. 2 mortars here from Lemon, and Go Hard Like Drag is producing one of his own. With 3 mortars, they can do significant damage to this position. And if they can get the field gun to move up and take shots at it, that would be even better. They need to defend against counterattack and screen for these mortars, and they're doing a good job with shock troops in green cover. That will make it impossible for the opponent to charge into short range. Flamethrower doing the same. I'm going to set up this defensive line so that he can engage as cost effectively as possible with these mortars, and we've also got a Maxim in the back to do a little suppressing fire. Managing to keep one squad suppressed, and it's essentially kept out of the engagement as long as it is suppressed. Doesn't really do any meaningful damage. Shock troops green cover position gets destroyed, and Oster mortar has also been fielded. Oh no, actually, what am I talking about? A Soviet mortar has been stolen. Soviet mortar has been stolen. Giving that over to the OKW is definitely problematic. Oh, Reimer, that time's actually not entirely accurate. The tournament's going to start a little bit late today. Captain S. Price had a scheduling issue, and we're going to start like 30 minutes to an hour late, so it's going to be more like 1830 or 1900, but roughly that time.
EFG 18 howitzers stand ready to fire.
So I'm going to do another cast, like another viewer requested cast at that time. Hopefully by the time it's over, Captain S. Price will be ready to play. That doesn't sound good. Stuka coming in on this Soviet position. Wipes one mortar. Oh, wipes a combat engineer squad too. That was a pretty good barrage. That mortar gets away just by a hair. Shock troops managed to stay in the area. Grenade toss will prompt a retreat from both Volksgrenadier squads, and hopefully the Soviets can maintain control of that mortar. And that Stuka has 9 kills on the first barrage, so he actually went tier 2 straight to tier 3. Did not get the tier 4 structure, so they will have access to the Stuka for now. And they've also got that Panzer II on the field. But because they've both gone with a light vehicle, or light tank, they're not going to have access to Panthers in a particularly reasonable amount of time. Well, maybe, I don't know, maybe I spoke too soon. Sirokoma is actually already up to 160 fuel. He'll be able to get a Panther quite soon, actually. If he wants to. Because their map control's been so good, they've managed to hold on to the center fuel for the entire game, and they've been harassing the north, if not holding the north, most of the game. So the Soviets' map control situation is gonna hurt. Once that Panther hits the field, or Sturm Tiger, or whatever, it's gonna be hard to deal with. This is a full squad of conscripts, just to inattentiveness right there. If we look at command points, Go Hard Like Drag is up to 9, Lemon's almost up to 8. So the KV-8's available, the B4 is very nearly available. And I think that the Soviet players are going to need a B4 to land some really nice shots. Probably going to need an IS-2 to make a dramatic impact. I think a KV-8 might not be a bad decision against what they're currently up against. No Panther or anything on the field yet. If he fielded it immediately upon having access to it, he might have made a really big impact. Since he didn't, now it might be a little bit late. The Panther's going to be in production soon. Another big Stuka hit right there, but it doesn't look like any of the team weapons are decrewed fully or destroyed. Conscripts moving up, land AT grenades on that Panzer II, and is exposing itself to field gun fire. I think it will go down. Field gun does have to rotate, and scavenge artillery just got dropped on this defensive position. All mortars will be forced to retreat. Field gun does take the critical shot and take out the Panzer II, but everything else needs to get out of here before those shells start dropping. Not sure if the field gun's going to get away. It's completely unsupported. Oh, I take that back. Shock troops moving up from the south flank to cover its retreat. And the Axis cannot chase, and that field gun will get to safety, so the Panzer II is destroyed, and despite being forced off the field yet again, Soviet players don't take particularly meaningful losses there. All in all, I would say that engagement went a lot better than it could have with that Stuka and artillery coming in. But I feel like the Soviet players need to spread out a little bit if they keep on clustering their forces in this little death corridor. But they'll just kind of be letting their opponents have full control of all territories in the north and making themselves very vulnerable to that Stuka. And, of course, off-map artillery strikes, as unusual as they're probably going to be. The Lemon is up to 9 command points now, and a B4 is in production here in his base. IS-2 making its way out of the Soviet base as well. Conscripts should be able to force away those Volksgrenadiers easily enough. B4 just fired something. Oh, that was a huge first hit. 2 squads of Volksgrenadiers wiped. That hurts, and the B4 has made a very grand entrance. The IS-2 trying to do the same, up to 1 kill already, threatening to wipe that Volksgrenadier squad if they don't retreat. They're so clumped. Alright, there goes that Volksgrenadier squad. Shock troops are going to retreat here. We do have Lemon sending forces across the north to try and do some harassment. He didn't walk them through the S-mines. He took a very roundabout path. Now he's going to micro them into the capture circles. Should be able to get that north VP under control. It's outside of the range of that tier 4 structure. But it looks like he's just going to keep those conscript squads paired together so they can support each other if necessary. MG-42 or MG-34 making its way up to the front line. another huge B4 hit. I don't even know how many kills that just got. Really nice. 13 kills in the first 2 shots. And when your B4 does not miss its first 2 shots and you get Vet 1 like that, it unlocks Precision Strike really early. Lemon's got the munitions for a Precision Strike. He could nail a battle group headquarters or the tier 4 structure. He has a lot of options. He could blast the Stuka. All kinds of opportunities open up for that 90 munitions price tag. The mortars from Lemon are going to continue bombarding the tier 4 structure, and they're bringing it dangerously low. B4 could easily finish it off. I'm not sure if he has vision on the structure to know exactly how close it is to being destroyed, but if he decides to fire his B4 at it, it will almost certainly go, wow, did you? Oh, okay. I thought that wiped a 4-man Volksgrenadier squad, but the portraits were just overlapping. I was about to be like, whoa, that was the biggest flame crit I've ever seen. Stuka clears out a mortar and a field gun here in the center. They really need to push away these Sturm Pioneers so they don't get salvaged. Need to find a way to recrew those. The KV-1 here in the south. KV-1's fielded towards the south to protect that VP. IS-2's receiving repairs back here in the east. And the B4 has not fired at... Oh wait, yes it has. I don't know what it shot at this time. Battle group headquarters? Looks like it because it's taking a bunch of damage. This tier 4 structure is going to go down just to mortar fire.
We have more conscripts at our disposal.
Just like one more barrage and it's done. Sturm Pioneers aren't even moving to repair. Maybe they've just given up. It's a lost cause. And there it goes. KV-1 moving up from the south, IS-2 coming in from the east. Soviets are retaking control of all territory in the south, and we will see big fuel purchases by both Oberkommando West players. Sirokoma going with the King Tiger right now, and Arny going with a King Tiger right now. So 2 King Tigers are going to make their way onto the field pretty much simultaneously. They're going to reap the benefits of the huge early map control. They're feeling a lot of heat right now, but once those King Tigers make it onto the field, it might be a whole different game. That being said, they really need to deal with that B4. B4 is just annihilating everything. Not to mention they have total vision over this area. Stuka was not being monitored, and he lets it go down just to a KV-1, just driving right up and destroying it. And that was a pretty clumsy loss. Goes the battle group headquarters. King Tigers are still in production. This one just completed and it's rumbling onto the field, but all Oberkommando West tech structures and defensive positions have been annihilated here in the center, leaving them with very thin forces. Sturm Pioneer Squad and Volksgrenadiers, all Arny has left. MG-34, Volks, Obers are the only thing Sirokoma has left to fend off this Soviet advance, which is looking pretty scary. Precision strike just fired, I think. I had something. Cancelled? I don't know. He was rotating. I'm not sure what he's firing at. Not sure what he's thinking. King Tiger engaging here in the center doesn't get a whole lot done. Second King Tiger moving up from the south, catches that KV-1 way out of position, gets crew shocked. That's going to get cleaned up easily. Boom. Second King Tiger makes its way back towards the center to continue engaging. This field gun will easily get cleaned up by Sturm Pioneers. Very nice pickup by those Vet 5 Sturm Pioneers. Precision strike coming in on the King Tiger, though. This could be a big hit. It's not moving. Oh, that was a big hit, but it's not enough to destroy it. Not enough to destroy it. The IS-2 needs to move up and seal the deal or something, but it's fallen too low with the other King Tiger screening. That's not going to happen. It should be able to pull back for some repairs while that B4 is on cooldown. He can repair in the fog without Lemon locating him. Might be okay, but he does need to field a fresh squad of Stern Pioneers to get that thing repaired. He might even be outside of B4 range, I think. If he goes back far enough, yeah. B4's range ends right there. So if he keeps moving, he'll be safe. Map is still pretty much in Upper Commander West hands. The King Tigers have forced a full retreat from the Soviets, so they were not able to shift north and get that territory under control. The sheer volume of S-mines up here is going to make Minesweeper pretty much necessary. If not for advancing, certainly for a safe retreat path. A couple squads defending, doesn't really have much else with which to defend. A couple squads reinforcing here in the base. That KV-1, ooh, whoa, what is that King Tiger doing? I don't know if it's going to survive this engagement. Oh my god. He's so lucky. Just caught with his rear armor exposed to that KV-1. If that shot had not bounced, that was a dead King Tiger. Wow, B4 shot misses that King Tiger by a hair. I can't believe that thing's still alive. That is one lucky KT. I don't know if he's going to continue to get lucky though. Two field guns have made their way to the front line, but he needs to get a line on that King Tiger, and he needs to use that IS-2 to screen. This should be sufficient firepower to force it to retreat. King Tiger shot penetrates, IS-2 and field gun shots do not. King Tiger is not all that damaged. There we go. Brings it down to half, but he will disengage since his IS-2 is taking some damage. He's got repairs available right here. B4 just fired again. That's something. He was kind of trying to hit that King Tiger as it pulled back, but it was a little off target. Squads. Yeah, he's gonna walk into more S. Oop. Caught it just in time. Caught it just in time. Conscripts will be able to take control of all territory here in the north, and a minesweeper is getting all these S-mines cleaned up. Over Commander West Infantry, what little remains, is being deployed to force those conscripts off the VPs, and the victory points have actually not only equalized but turned hugely in favor of the Over Commander West. The Soviets now have only 120 remaining, 100-point lead for the Axis. If those King Tigers don't get wiped off the field soon, Allies are going to run out of time. IS-2 will pick up one squad here in the center, maybe two squads in fact. Yep, two squads of Volksgrenadiers wiped out. King Tiger moves up to engage.
The enemy is encroaching on our territory.
Panzerschreck recovered by a shock troop squad. Most shots on the KT bouncing so far. Shot on the IS-2 penetrates. King Tiger takes minor damage. Trying to keep the mechanized regiment headquarters repaired over here is going to prove to be difficult and dangerous. Does not want to lose that Vet 5 Sternpio squad. What is that King Tiger doing? Here comes another precision strike in the north, I think. Yes. Precision strike in the north lands on that King Tiger and brings it down to half health, but this King Tiger is about to drive straight into the Soviet base. Ooh, huge hit, and it looks like that B4 is going to be destroyed. There it goes. Nice play by that King Tiger to get the B4 off the field. Now that thing's dealt with, the King Tigers don't have that much to threaten them. The IS-2 is problematic, but both King Tigers are still alive if they can get fully repaired by some fresh Stern Pioneers and make a coordinated push against that IS-2 with the B4 gone and still holding control of the North VPs. They're in a pretty good position, but it's only a tenuous hold on the ebb and flow of this game. If they make even the slightest mistake and let one of those King Tigers be destroyed, IS-2 production may overwhelm them.
Assembly complete.
Volksgrenadiers taking control of the North Fuel. Soviet push going across the north now. 2 field guns here to try to screen King Tigers away, and the Overcommander West are just hurting for repair power right now. Cannot seem to get their King Tigers back to full health. Finally, a couple Stern Pioneers fielded down here by Arny to get this King Tiger back up, plus Mechanized Regiment Headquarters, a new one I think available right here to boost that. This one slowly getting repaired as well, but he needs to reinforce these Pioneers first to speed things up. King Tiger making its way towards the front lines with Obersoldaten support. This tier 4 structure not even been touched, so it is still a source of Obers. For Arny, Sirokoma has no such luxury, but he does still have 1 Obersoldaten squad available to him. We're going to see a combined Soviet push for the north right now. IS-2 leading the charge, takes out an MG-34 right there, and combat engineers are going to get this territory under control and start a triple cap going against the Axis. Salvaging some stuff here in the center, they should be able to take control of this territory largely unopposed. The only thing defending is a stolen MG-34, while all Soviet forces are deployed to the north to try and get control of 2 victory points and start the clock ticking against their opponents. But the Axis have a lot of time, 250 manpower in the bank in fact. Wow, that is an extremely aggressive B4 from Lemon. He really wants to have range on both of the victory points, I guess. And in fact, also the Axis base. Putting it in that aggressive location against 2 King Tigers is very dangerous, though. He kind of threatens letting that get destroyed by a flank from the south. But if he can get that completed, it should be instrumental in holding this territory. That King Tiger just walked into 4 field guns. He's going to lose it if he doesn't pull it back. He's taking a ton of damage. Going to try and combat blitz to safety. AT grenade does not penetrate, so its engine is still intact. IS-2 is going to chase. That shot bounces, though. Stern Pioneers available for repairs. That shot just penetrated. King Tiger shot will bounce. I don't know. That IS-2 probably could have tried to seal the deal right there. That was pretty close. B4 just fired. Whoa! What happened to that King Tiger? B4 kill it? Has a lot of veterancy. I don't know what just happened. It looks like that B4 shot killed the Tiger with field gun support. I'm kind of sad that I missed that. One of the King Tigers has now been destroyed. All Axis infantry also gets cleaned up by the Vet 2 IS-2, and a fresh IS-2 is on the field. With that King Tiger destroyed, this is now the only hope the Overcommander West have to hold on to the map. Another squad just got wiped. Panther is in production from Arny to try to equalize things a little bit, but Sirokoma has only 1 squad of Obersoldaten right now. He's floating resources like crazy, though. He must be intending to go for another King Tiger. Incendiary artillery falling right here. A lot of pressure being applied to the Axis. They don't have nearly enough anti-tank. Just this King Tiger, and that is going to get blasted by 2 IS-2s, a bunch of field guns here in the back. It does have the Vet 2 armor bonus, but even that is not enough to keep it alive against the sheer firepower it's up against here. Panther moves up to try to screen that IS-2 away. Trying to flank behind this giant Zis wall, but it's already taken a ton of damage and it's exposing its rear armor, but it does get a critical shot off against that IS-2 and take it out, and it looks like it's going to get to safety flanking around this north route. The Vet 2 IS-2's chasing, though. I'm not sure if it's going to get away. No, it still has its rear armor exposed, and the IS-2 cleans it up. Nice play by Go Hard Like Drag to punish that Panther for its aggression. B4 shot misses over here, but it does not matter. King Tiger goes down to the sheer amount of AT guns, and Arny and Sirokoma have surrendered. Wasn't sure who was going to win that initially. Apparently this B4 placement killed a King Tiger though, which is exactly what I said was going to need to happen for the Soviets to hold on to this game. Once that King Tiger went down, it was not nearly as difficult to take out the second one. I guess if the Axis hadn't floated so much resources though, they probably could have gotten some more territory under control here in the south. Some fresh infantry squads tried to maintain control of the game and try and make a play against this B4, because they never sent a tank or anything really around the south flank to take out that aggressive artillery piece. I don't know, it didn't do that much other than kill that King Tiger. Obviously that's important, but I think it did that with its first shot with anti-tank gun support. So that King Tiger just walked into too much firepower, should have taken a different approach. Good game. Allies win.